you can filter things. I can pull the questions up.
Sorry. So it's live.
Oh. All right. Didn't use back on.
So it's been a few weeks since I've done a live feed on Facebook, and so I was just noticing that we weren't getting questions from Toxic fans.
We are now.
And we are now, apparently. And I will be checking them shortly. My friend Toxic was just talking. He was explaining how he has dealt with issues he has had with suicide and depression. And I'm sorry, Joe, cut you off here.
No, you're okay. Yeah, but dealing with people and feeling so close to people, like these people have, like I said, I've saved them from a fire. I've moved them into my house, and then to turn around and something as small as keep your mask on for my health reasons was denied, and then you come to my house and get me sick, not with coronavirus, but with the flu. And like I said in my YouTube video, I was stuck in bed, and when I say stuck, I mean literally I was stuck. I could not move. My body was aching. Threw up, pissed, shit on myself, all kinds of shit. And to find out afterwards that I was blocked on social media platforms where it's the only means of communication because they didn't have a phone. I paid the dude's bill so he would have a phone. And for you to block me based off some coochie, it just kind of threw me back and put me in a really dark place of feeling like I was not valued or used, and I'm often used because I'm too nice to people. And a lot of people take my persona and they just like, you're an asshole, you're an ass. Actually, I'm not. I'm an asshole with people I don't know. I'm an asshole to people who don't understand me and approach me in a certain type of manner. And for me, you just don't do stuff like that. You don't take advantage of people, especially people who work their asses off to get what they have. I worked at the store that I was working at with the company I was with for over 3 years. I've worked in adult film since before 2012, since before OnlyFans was a thing. So it's for me, traveling the world and having sex with random people that you do not know, it's a job. Yeah. And that's a lot. It takes a lot of energy, and it takes a lot of you out of you in order to put that persona on. And I would really like for people to understand that there is more to it than just you bending somebody over and pulling your dick out. Like, it takes a lot. Tying cock rings around your penis is to strip, to stay hard, and to, trying to keep a certain image in order for people to find you attractive. Like, it's a lot. You know what I mean? So,
and then not to mention some of the, and you've talked about this, we've discussed this, some of the hygienic practices of your co-stars.
It's been disgusting.
Y'all do know when you're making a film that sometimes the camera is going to be really close. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine not visiting my good friend Summer's Eve before I was to ever do something like that.
Come on, Summer's Eve.
or go up Fleet Mountain.
Come on now.
Yeah,
please travel there.
And but yeah. And also the emotional thing that it takes out. When you're doing, I don't know that people realize, when you're doing that, you are drug free, you don't drink, you don't do any of that. I don't know anyone in the adult entertainment industry who isn't on something. That's because it's such an emotional...
I mean, for me, it's a professional thing. So, I smoke a blunt at home. Anything else is just not my thing. Like, if you do see me on Facebook and I'm drinking, it's because I'm going through something that makes me want to not feel. I want to take my mind off of something, and it must be that deep. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't like alcohol. I drink to get fucked up. I don't drink for the drink. But when I say that it takes a part as far as doing adult film, you are literally giving yourself to a person. And it may not be my emotions, but it's still a piece of me. And let me just say this real quick. I give away my body, but my soul is still mine. Okay? And my soul is me. That's my essence. Okay? My mental tells me it's wrong to give my body away, but I take my mental out of it when I'm doing adult film and I make it a business. So when all the little girls came up on OnlyFans and they got their little coins and everything, that's great. I believe in you to do that. Get your fucking money. But don't dumb it down for people who came before you to make OnlyFans possible. Okay? You can't make me feel like I'm less than because now I have less followers than you. The childishness behind it. I built this shit, bitch.
Exactly.
And that is the part where people be like, you're stuck on yourself, you're stuck up. No, I have an understanding of a process. And for some of the girls who may not understand what I mean, let me dumb it down for you. Okay? The same way people don't understand that Kim came before Nikki. That's the process. I came before OnlyFans. Adult films that came before me deserve respect. So if you coming in after us, have some fucking respect. It doesn't have to be a situation where you feel like, oh, well, now I have 32,000 people following me. Girl, you are one post away from being deleted.
And they're getting those subscribers for free.
Period. And I want to say this too, because the OnlyFans people really be kind of messing me up. And I know this is your show, but I just want to say this real quick. OnlyFans people get it really messed up. You know, you talking about how you got more subscribers. Well, guess what, baby? Your shit is cheap. And you look at us when we put $12 and $20. Well, we know our worth. I literally had to take all of my content with other people in it off of my OnlyFans due to OnlyFans having this new stipulation where you have to have release forms and ID pictures and shit like that. So I had to take all that shit off my OnlyFans. And yes, I did drop my price to $6 because it's just me on there right now. But at the end of the day, I say that to say this. Know your worth. Stop putting your shit up there for $3. Like, do you honestly think that shit is cute? Once OnlyFans take their percentage, you're making change off of fucking bitches that you don't know. You dumb it down for everybody. For the people who are out here, and I've said this on my social media platforms, for people out here that are having sex on Twitter and Pornhub for free. Girl, you're not making no coins. You ain't signed up nothing to make no money off of this. But then y'all look at me like I'm crazy when I say, don't message me if it's not about no coins. I want to hear about this because you fucking I can get ass for forever. I can get ass for days, weeks, and months. Okay? But paying my bills and taking care of myself, that's more important. Because at the end of the day, no shade. Girls like you and men like me, we don't have a bunch of people to rely on that we can call and go, hey, I need some help. We can only do the shit for ourselves. So therefore, we have to make it a priority to make money. I need my rent paid. I need my phone to stay on. Trips are not free. Clothes are not free. Food is not free. And if for all those people who not understanding what I'm saying, a lot of people done lost their jobs in this pandemic. And the government don't give a flying fuck. So now you should understand. No one's going to take care of you but you. No one's going to put enough time into you. They got other shit going on.
And OnlyFans isn't just for porn. It's not just to see you jacking your dick. It's not just to be showing your titties or squirting on the video. It's not just for that. If you have a sewing class on OnlyFans, if you are a painter, a photographer, there's that. But it's been so taken over by 20-year-old
whores, sluts,
whatever
you want to call
cutie
them.
pies. But y'all, okay, for me, I have an OnlyFans for my webcam followers, viewers, fans. Someone who wasn't a webcam fan subscribed to it and said that my content was boring. I said, okay, well, here's the thing. I do burlesque. What? Burlesque.
The girls don't even know what that is. They just know titties and ass off.
Burlesque is the way the strippers stripped, the female strippers stripped in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, meaning took off their tops, and usually then they had their pasties on.
Mm-hmm.
I have no problem showing my bust whatsoever. I'm proud of it. Most of it is 95% of it's mine. But from the waist below, we talking some serious. If you want to see that, you need to come with me away from all this shit and let's discuss, because I am about the money, but I'm not about putting it on OnlyFans and charging you $3.99, $5.99 a month to see that. No. You got to keep something to yourself.
A lot of the girls don't know what that is. They don't know about the standards. When they hear you say standards, they relate that to bouginess and being stuck on yourself. No, when you looked at burlesque dancers, it was a tease. It was a tease. You got some breasts, all right, cool.
Exactly.
But you got a show. It was about more than just showing everything. You know what I'm saying? So if I decide, like I've just recently done a couple more underwear videos or whatever, and I posted one today.
I love the one in the red, by the way. The red leather.
But at the end of the day, it's like, if I show you everything all the time, it is going to get boring. And I have gotten the same comment where somebody said, your stuff is boring, so I unfollowed you. And I blocked his ass on Twitter. Because why are you telling me you unfollow me? I don't care that you unfollow me. It's a waste of my time to tell me, oh, I'm unfollowing you. I don't care. I don't ask for people to support me. I love that you do, but I'm not going to send you my link and say, hey, go follow this. No, because I'm not desperate for you to do it, because I'm going to find a means to make my money. I'm going to find the means. I don't want people to waste my time with foolishness. I don't want people's judgments. I don't want people's extra bullshit thrown my way. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to be me regardless of whether or not you follow me. I'm going to be happy in me no matter whether or not you follow me. I might be stressed. Oh God, I might be stressed. But it's life. We all are going to be stressed out at some point. But have the standards enough to stand up and say, I'm not doing this shit for no bullshit ass $3. You know what I'm saying? Like, people always say self-worth, self-worth, self-worth. Where is the worth in $3? I get it. You want to get your subscribers up and you want to give them a little taste and all of this, but if I'm the one that's subscribing to you, I'm going to feel like I could DM you and say, give me some ass whenever, and you probably would do it.
Could I speak?
So, now let's get to some fun stuff. So, in your foray in adult entertainment, can you do any name dropping? If you can't do any name dropping, can you do any hinting? Some famous people? I'll go if you go.
Oh, Lord.
I'll say this. I won't say the name, but I'm going to give a big hint. When I lived in Atlanta, sports stars galore. I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. But there's one gentleman who was engaged to a woman named Jenna Jameson. I had him first. Jenna Jameson, who was she engaged to? I had him first. And it was good. How about you?
I'm not going to drop any names because it's not my thing. But I will say this. Person that my personal feelings to say he was a star because he was doing the same thing I was doing around the same time that I was doing it, and he was somebody a little more than me. We dated, and he passed away before we got to cohabitate and everything like that. When we met, I did produce a video with us for my company, TOXIK JOHNSON Productions, and he was, oh God, that guy was fucking amazing. But he had to understand, and he's probably the only adult film star that I would ever date. Like, literally, ever. Because I feel like now people don't understand the cutoff. With him, he understood the cutoff. He knew personal and home. And a lot of people don't do that. But, yeah, so his initials is KD. A lot of people knew him, a lot of people loved him, and he was very much like a star for me. Everything about that guy was amazing. He'd been through horrible relationships, and I was right there to talk to them on the other line. You know what I mean? And
how have some of your relationships been? Tell me about some of your relationships. Mine have been. Judy Garland has better luck in love. I am the queen. One of my videos is called "The Queen of Misery." When it comes to love, I'm the queen of misery. I like a certain type. I like them young.
Mm-hmm. That's the fail. That's the fail right
there. A lot of times, I like to be. You know, I'm really good at making the man think that he's the alpha. Really, you know, I like him. I don't have a problem with when I come home from work. He's here. I don't have a problem with that.
I prefer it.
But the young boys take that to a whole nother level, but also give me a PlayStation, also give me these new da-da-da. And my most recent one, who was age appropriate, he did the exact, and he wasn't even cute. He was, and I said, let me date someone ugly.
Mm-hmm.
You look like Dave Chappelle. But the sweetest person on earth, my cameraman knows him very well, he's the sweetest person on earth. We were best friends for 2 years, but we took it to a whole nother level, and I shouldn't have. And it was one of the biggest disasters of my life. So,
I've only had a couple relationships, real relationships. 3 with women and 3 with men. No trans relationships. I have done a lot of fun things with trans, but no relationships. My relationships are always rocky due to the fact that adult film played a part, but the one that lasted like 6-7 years, it went bad. He got married to a whole nother man and came to my strip club to tell me, and
is that a Baltimore thing? Because that is just so.
I don't think that people relate their emotions to where they are. They just kind of like let it all hang out. Like, I feel like that's a slap in my face.
Yes, it was.
Because I'm at work, you're distracting me from what it is that I have to do, and people don't take that kind of stuff into account. I also feel like he maybe thought that was going to keep him safe because there was people around, and it did. He got fucked upstairs in a club right after he told me, because I felt like if I can do it, then I'm going to do it. Because you don't give a fuck about me, so why the fuck should I give a fuck about your relationship? He didn't give a fuck about you to date you while we were together. So, that was my thought on it. If you're going to be spiteful after 6-7 years of a relationship, well, let me show you what he looks like, and I'm going to put a cute little bow on it.
Exactly.
Hold up. You fucked the boyfriend? You fucked the guy upstairs?
I fucked my ex-boyfriend upstairs in the club after he told me that he got married and got that nigga name tattooed on.
Okay. I had to clarify for everybody else who's watching.
See, my ex put my first name in between his groin and my last name in between his groin. So,
my ex has my stage name, the date we met, and my he got my stage name, the date we met, and he has my real name on him.
Wow.
Yeah. I have the date that we met.
He asked me, are you going to get my name tattooed on your body? I said, well, I would never, put that. I would never, do that to my body. Great that you did. I'm very flattered, but that's just not my thing. I love tattoos.
I mean, I still talk to my ex, though. It took years to be able to find peace, enough to be able to, but at the same time, there was a situation of, I genuinely love you enough to be able to put it behind us. You just need to get the fuck out of my face for now. You know what I'm saying? Like, come back to me later. Come back when you find yourself. Come back when you have some sense. So we are good now. We have a great conversation, and he tells me about his husband and how shitty their relationship is, and I marvel in it, and I hold my head up higher every time he talks, because
Karma.
exactly. I can say that I'm home in my place and I am comfortable. You having issues. You're struggling. And I don't wish that on you. I don't want that for you, because I do have some type of love for you. But at the same time, Karma's a bitch and she'll fuck you every time. She got a big dick.
She sure does.
Karma got a big dick.
It's funny because I often say, for me, when I do something, Karma comes back right away. She comes to give me, and I see some people that seem to go forever and years and da-da-da. But for me, I even think about, doing something, I have to apologize to the powers that be when I even think about it, because karma will come and get me like that, and it's usually big. What are some upcoming dates that you can promote? Talk about your upcoming appearances. For anyone that's watching, I'm with TOXIK Johnson, and he is an adult entertainer, producer, director, writer, dancer, everything galore. I'm HILLJAYNE Mansfield, and we are in the great city of Baltimore, which is his home.
I'm gonna, I'm going to Texas. I was supposed to be going to LA, but, some things got a little bit shaky, due to coronavirus and everything like that. So I changed my flight, and I'm going to Texas on the 4th. Hopefully, the people that I have booked to do videos are not going to flake, but that is an issue that I have a lot.
Maybe one will be Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh God, if I do a video with Megan. Oh God. I ain't even got to fuck her. Let me just kiss your feet. Let me just smell on them a little bit. Something. I don't know.
That was my ex. He loved her to death. And on my webcamming site, I said, he was playing her music. I said, I think she looks like her. And he said, you can't say that. You can't. She may be watching. Her people may be watching. I'm like, I seriously doubt any of her people are watching. But it's a compliment. If I to be called, say you look like a transgendered woman, a true transgendered woman. I'm not Baltimore girls, but a true transgendered woman, the hair. I'm from the South. We don't play. I'm an Atlanta girl. I got my start in Atlanta. So the look and feel is real. And some of the kids these days don't feel that. That's okay. Do you. Be yourself. You're my sister.
Trans girls don't like me.
They don't like me.
They don't like me because I'm honest, and I guess I'm too honest. I'm brutally honest, if you will. I feel like a lot of the Baltimore trans girls they lack effort, and I feel like if you're going to do it,
Go ahead.
so if you're gonna do it, then do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you shouldn't put on that wig that's been in a box for 3-4 weeks that's tangled up with your keys. Like, no, like, really get yourself together. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna stuff your bra accurately. Get yourself a sports bra, something that's not gonna be open to the world to see. Don't wear a shirt with your sports bra out. You know what I'm saying? And if you do got your breasts done, they don't need to be out in every goddamn outfit. And I think that's where people get things a little mixed up. Trans girls associate showing their tits with femininity, and that's not it. My mom didn't have her big ass titties out every time she turned around. Neither does my grandma. My sisters don't walk around with their titties out all day long, and they're always not loud as fuck either. You gotta dial it down. You see what I'm saying? So you can build yourself up. I feel like, and this was something that somebody said to me earlier this week. Some of the girls don't know how to, get out of being a gay instead of being a woman. In order for you to be a woman, embrace yourself enough not to always need to be seen and heard.
My whole thing is the ones who have the 12-inch dicks. And then to show it. See, I'm a real
This is
transgendered woman.
Unfiltered.
I've had half my surgery. Hopefully, when this COVID is over, I will be able to complete the rest. Johns Hopkins is always behind. That's why I came to Maryland to get all that best insurance in the world.
Right.
Hormones I paid $3 for. In North Carolina, I paid $350. So anyone who's watching who is a trans and waiting, I would recommend Maryland because insurance does cover that kind of thing.
Hold up. Don't flood the city.
It's already flooded. It's too late. It's too late. Everybody is transitioning now.
They really don't like me, and particularly because I'm Caucasian, I'm Southern, I'm pretty, and a lot of the brothers, because I'm thick, some of the brothers are drawn to me, and there's no sisterhood here. I don't have anyone. You know who goes shopping with me?
Yeah, I was just informed.
I don't have any friends. I don't have any girlfriends to go shopping with. you know, and that's so much, you know, so much fun of being a girl is getting your, you know, your girlfriends, you know, but there's none here. There's no sisterhood. Atlanta, we may have talked shit about each other. They may, you need to da-da-da, but they did it as a learning thing, and it may not
Right.
seem it. Here they just,
But that's an overall thing in our community, honestly.
We were just talking about that.
It's overall. I think that this city is basically like disconnect. Everyone is for themselves. And I literally did a YouTube video about that too on TJs Real Talk, letting everybody know, like, if we're gonna be in this community, we have to back each other. Like, you can't just down a bitch and be like, oh, no, like, what are we doing? We got too many people against us already.
yes.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it's white or black. If you are a homosexual, you are part of my family. You're part of my community.
And I have to say, if I ever see, whether I like her or not, whether she's done something or da-da-da, if I see a sister getting bullied, I'm there. And I'm not a violent person. That's another thing. People think they can pick on me because I'm not violent. I fight with this. I don't fight with these. I don't believe in violence. I don't like it. I think we do a lot more damage with your mouth. And people take that for weakness. But it's not weak. I mean, come at me. I'll go there. I'll go there. He's seen me. So, if I see a sister getting bullied or getting beat up, I'm there. Do we have any questions that
A question was asked if they could actually come onto the actual camera. Are you allowing that?
is
Like
it,
they sort of-
I would say no. That
They
this
want to
is-
join your videos.
I would say no. That this interview was with Toxic, and
Okay.
this is his time.
All right.
Thank you.
But she's ready for the questions now, so you can go ahead and I'll repeat the questions for her. So if you have any questions, you can go ahead and type them in. And these questions are for TOXIK Johnson.
Now listen, when I after a 3-year absence of HILLJAYNE Unfiltered, when I came back in November, y'all came back and just asked, and the only one I didn't answer was when someone asked, "What's your real age?" I said, "Oh no. I answered everything. I answered everything except that." You know.
I mean, women don't do that.
Yeah.
Women don't tell their
Real.
age.
My mother was able to, when she moved from North Carolina to South Carolina, she was able to get the person in the DMV to take 10 years off. I was able in Atlanta and Georgia to get the person to take a year off.
So far, no questions.
No questions?
It just says that everyone's watching.
Wow.
That's how it is on my Facebook. I hate it. I would prefer people be more active. But let me say that I was watching the show before I came here, and I saw this conversation on YouTube about trans women using the restrooms, and it's a whole topic, but it really kind of fucked with my head a lot. A dude walked up and was just like, "Hey, like, you know, you're a man, like, you know, it's gross, like, for you to be in the bathroom with a woman." And I just want to say something about that. First of all, if a trans woman walks into a female's restroom, it is because she is a female.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? She identifies as a female, which means whatever your daughter or your mother or your grandmother has between her legs does not interest her.
Hello.
It does not interest her. What's between my legs does. Swing low. Hey. So, why would you feel more comfortable with a trans woman going into a men's restroom? I wouldn't feel comfortable with seeing a woman in the men's restroom. I mean, I like pussy, and I wouldn't feel comfortable. That's a personal place. All of these restrooms, they have doors. You go into the restroom, you shut the goddamn door. So why are you so afraid for your child? If your child is going to the bathroom, take your ass in the bathroom with her. Because anybody can snatch her ass when she comes out of that bathroom. Okay?
I was living in North Carolina at the height of the Proposition 8 issue. I was waiting tables, and it was, to be honest, it was hell on earth. I went to North Carolina, left Atlanta, moved back to North Carolina to take care of my mom. Greatest thing I ever did when my mom left this earth. I stayed in North Carolina, I stayed way too long. I got involved in a relationship, and then I stayed through. I mean, it was just they gave me hell, and I'm saying I would get arrested for jaywalking, and I really would. Concord, North Carolina gave me hell.
Derek says hi.
Hey, Derek. And I say to my friends in Concord who started with me, HILLJAYNE Unfiltered, I love you. I just can't stand that area. The authorities, the political, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I often say, because I've dated men of color, I can never know what it's like. Because regardless, I'm still this.
Yeah.
So I can never know what it's like. I do know what it's like to be different, but I've been with my boyfriends and when things have happened, and the rumors, it is true. Men of color get treated like shit.
Michelle agrees. Michelle Dennis agrees.
Hey, Michelle. And it makes me sick. It hurts my feelings. It hurts me. That's one reason that I do treat the black man like a kid, because he has to go through so much. He goes through so much that regardless of how different we are, us white people, green hair, punk rock hair, whatever. Oh, I'm bullied. You will never know. I will never know. You will never know until you're in their shoes. What it's like. I mean, I've been with them. Me and my boyfriend would get pulled over just driving normally. It's obscene. It's 2021. It's time to
progress, people.
Progress.
Just progress. I mean, at the end of the day, and Hill knows. I'll tell you quick. Mind your fucking business. Just mind your business. Where I put my dick don't concern you. What she chooses to do with her body does not concern you.
Who would they love to know?
And I think that that's more so the issue.
See,
I think that the issue is more that people are more so questioning themselves, so they involve themselves. You see what I'm saying? I think that fear of not being educated and not being knowledgeable about people, just people. You haven't been around black people, but so now you're uncomfortable with the color of my skin. You don't know me personally, but you see a hoodie and it makes you uncomfortable because that hoodie is now being represented by a robber in a movie. You see what I'm saying? Stop taking everything that you see on television and applying it to real life. It's not real life. Just because they stereotypically implement a black man as a killer, as a robber, as a rapist, as a child molester, that does not make me one.
And we all know that the majority of serial killers have been
Statistically.
Caucasian.
Statistically.
Even the female. Arlene, what's her name? Arlene Munster, Charlize Theron. White. So, are there any more questions?
No, I have one though. Concerning the bathroom thing when it comes to trans. See, I with TOXIK Johnson, I really appreciate you saying that. So far as the female going into the men's restroom, I wonder how a female would feel if she was to see a trans man come into a female's restroom.
Exactly.
You feel what I'm saying? Because they look like
Men.
more trans men. I know a lot of trans men, and they are attractive as hell.
Oh my
I mean, really attractive. And for them to walk out of a stall and walk to the sink to wash their hands before they come out the bathroom, and a female is gonna scream.
Yeah, she's gonna scream her head
So I'm thinking it's kind of one-sided.
off. It is
Because it's men. Because it's
women.
no, what I'm saying is I think it's kind of one-sided. Period. What is your opinion? My question is, what is your opinion on that? So far as it being one-sided. So, for instance, I can elaborate. A lesbian isn't looked at as something bad in a man's eyes in society because she's kissing another woman. But two guys kissing is a big problem.
Right.
But the same thing with the guy, again, when a guy goes into a female's restroom because she wants to be a woman, now it's a big issue. But when a female goes into a man's restroom, you know what I'm saying, it's never nothing said.
I'm gonna say this. Men think with their dicks. So most men will just be like, because it's a female that walked into the men's room. That just make their dicks hard. They ready to fuck. That to them is like an opportunity for them to try to score.
But if it's a transgender female walking into
transgender female who walks into the men's room or female?
The men's room.
Into the men's room.
It's gonna be an issue.
It would be weird.
It would be an issue,
It
right?
would
But what
definitely-
about a trans man walking into a female's restroom?
That female is going to lose her shit because they don't just look soft. A lot of them don't. I'm literally going to LA to do a video with a trans man.
Wow, it's so amazing I said that, huh?
And he looks like a white boy, a small little white boy who rides skateboards. That's what
Punk
he looks
rock.
like.
Punk rock.
Tattoos and everything. So if he was to get up and take his ass into a female's bathroom, you're going to think some little crackhead just went into the damn bathroom. You're going to be very uncomfortable. It's not to say that, you know, he's a crackhead, but he's small. Like, he's really small. Skinny, short, like, messy hair. Like, he looks like a punk rocker.
I got one better for you. Latino guy who just basically had all of her surgery switched over to a guy. I think it was in, I want to say Texas, where, you know, he walked into the female's restroom because he still has the female parts. And he didn't find that it was an issue, you know what I'm saying, because he had a stall.
Mm-hmm.
He felt more comfortable going in there and coming out of the stall than he did inside of the men's restroom because it was more cleaner and stuff like that. Do you think that's an issue? Do you think that's more of a reason why?
Honestly, I feel like
Because I know some female restrooms are.
men's restrooms are terrible. They really are.
I personally will say, as a trans person, that is something he needs to get used to.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, you need to find yourself a little more, you know, surgeries doesn't make you a man. It's you standing in it. I personally, I applaud any trans person, male or female, because I would never have the strength to be able to walk outside and feel that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, you're
Walking in the shoes.
yeah, like literally standing out in a dress and some pumps and makeup. Like, me personally, I would feel, and it took me a while, no disrespect, it took me very much a while to be able to accept trans people, trans women overall, because, you know, a lot of them in Baltimore still look like, no disrespect, men. And they haven't found their niche. They haven't found themselves enough to, you know, get that look together. But I understand you wanting to step out and be you. So, you know, I get it. But now that I have found it, my sister's trans. You know.
She's in a video with you, isn't she?
Yeah. My sister's trans. So I'm definitely on social media, on her platforms, cussing people out.
My cousin's trans.
Because I'm not finna deal with it. You're not finna call my sister a he.
Yeah.
First of all, my sister looks like a female and she has no surgeries. Okay? You're not finna play in her face and act like, oh, you know, she just some dude. Like, no, she not. She know who she is. And she steps out in it every goddamn day. And I would love to see a man step out in it and be able to say, oh, I accept a person. That's some fucking strength.
Mm-hmm.
The strength is not you being able to bash a person that you feel like is weaker than you, because that's some pussy shit.
Mm-hmm.
The strength is you being able to stand up for a motherfucker that you think is weaker than you.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they're not. Because I don't want to ever give the impression that a homosexual, a trans man, or a trans woman is weak, because bitch, you got us fucked up.
It takes a lot of strength. Dirk Freeman says, you look beautiful as always.
Thank you.
Come on, Cassie.
Thank you, Derek.
It's just a lot. Like, I think that people really need to start, you know, broadening their horizon and stop looking at the outer appearance. Once you sit down and have a conversation with people, because I've opened people's eyes on the bus, I've opened my mother's eyes, my father's eyes, and her husband's eyes, to understand that we don't have to be the stereotype that you make us out to be. I don't do nails, I don't do makeup, I don't do hair. I am a man.
And you don't gossip.
Yeah, I don't feel a need to. For what?
I've been transitioning since 1999, and the date is closer. You know, I'm halfway there with my surgery. I want the whole thing. I always have. I'm transsexual, but I personally identify as female. I have been a female my whole life, I feel like, and I was actually technically born in the 70s with too many female chromosomes. Now, They didn't have the computers and stuff that they did now, but when I was a kid, it was called gender identity disorder or gender identity dysphoria, something like that.
Disorder.
So it was never any big shock to my family. At 2 years old, I was putting on my mom's makeup and everything, you know, and I was just always really feminine.
I did the pumps.
Exactly.
I'm a shoe man. I love shoes.
I wouldn't wish this life on, that's why when people ask me parents who are letting their kids 6-year-old, 5 years old, 6 years old.
I encourage it.
For me personally, I think you should try to live. You might be a drag queen. When I was 6 years old, I wanted to be a preacher at one point. And people go through phases.
Right.
Obviously, if it lasts a while, this is something you need to look into. But I tried to live as a gay man for a year or two, and you see what happened. But it's a lot to think about. It's a lot to, you know, to give in. You know, to live your life this way, especially in unprogressive. It's funny that we're in a major city, Baltimore, and though Maryland is extremely progressive, Baltimore, not so much.
I'm confused by that comment. Can you elaborate, please?
Okay. So we're being from the South. Maryland, Baltimore is considered the North. So as I get closer to New York, as I'm very close to Philadelphia, two very progressive, humongously big cities, you would think that the people would be extremely progressive.
It would be more open.
I mean, more open to what, though?
But they're too...
Trans, gays.
But they are.
Well, that's what she's saying. She's saying that New York is more progressive than Baltimore. She's saying that, you know, places in Maryland are more progressive than Baltimore City.
Because we just had a conversation in the car, you feel me?
Let's say there's a group of men, and first of all, I have to say, I could care less what people say about me. I've been made fun of my whole life. I've got red hair. As a woman, I've got big boobs. I'm tall. I'm colorful. I love fashion. When people are gawking at me, they're not always saying they're sometimes saying, where is she from? Are those Michael Kors? You know, look at all that red hair. God, her lips are big. God, her boobs are big. You know, I'm colorful and, you know, I'm animated. I get it. But what it does, it makes me uncomfortable. If I'm with someone, it makes me uncomfortable for the person I'm with because it's going to make them uncomfortable. And I try to tell them, I'm used to it. I've been made fun of my whole life. And when I am clocked by a group of guys, I promise you, one of those guys is going to...
How about 5 of those guys?
I've seen it.
Five. I'll say it like this. The reason why I said I beg to differ when it comes to just the Baltimore City, when it comes to Maryland, I feel as though Maryland is less progressive than Baltimore City is. The citywide side of the gay aspect of things is really further. Actually, half of the city board is on the board with New York. So a lot of the things that are transcended down onto Baltimore City from New York and things of that nature and Pennsylvania is the whole DMV, Virginia, everything is it's a whole board of them.
It's really funny if you Google the most progressive states, the number one state is Vermont.
Mm-hmm.
And then what would someone like me do in Vermont? I mean, first of all, where would I find a guy that I like? You know. And, you know, but then at the same time, the insurance, I can just imagine the insurance. Where do you go to really feel comfortable or let yourself feel loose? And where do you go where?
I go to fuck home. I go to fuck home. I don't feel comfortable anywhere.
Really?
When I step outside in Baltimore,
I don't feel comfortable at all.
I don't feel comfortable. I don't
Why
feel
is that?
That's the city.
Let me explain. I don't feel comfortable. For one, I'm black. Okay? That's number one. That's the first thing for me. I don't feel comfortable walking outside. And two, I am a pansexual man. So
can you explain what pansexual is for some people? Because they're
pansexual is a man who likes women, men, trans women, and trans men. I don't give a fuck what you got between your legs.
It's
the connection with you that I'm dating. But yeah, my comfort level is very low because everyone in Baltimore is hostile to me. Not directly, but in my opinion, they're hostile people. We are hostile people. Because I was born and raised in Baltimore City.
someone told me, because I made a comment, you know, and it was all my life I've loved, dreamed. My dream is New York City. I've been there 7 times. First time I ever went, I knew my way around. If past lives exist, I obviously am from New York. If past lives exist, we obviously were connected somehow, because I agree with everything you say. I'm going to get to one thing I disagree with you in a minute. Something you said on your YouTube channel. But Baltimore is like I'm going to say a continent of its own. Things that happen in Baltimore to those people that are living here in Baltimore, that doesn't happen in the rest of the world. The people here are really mean.
What did somebody say to you?
Huh?
What did somebody say to you?
I mean, even the person who sublets this apartment, who I rent from, the things that she has said to me, you don't say that to people. And especially to someone like me, I don't know what it is. If it's the skin color, if you think I'm scared, I'm going to come back. But
Teresa says, hello, beautiful. How are you?
hey, Teresa. I'm good, thank you. See, I'm with superstar TOXIK JOHNSON, so I'm good. But yeah, it's just different here. It's a different world. You're well traveled. One thing you said on your YouTube page, your YouTube channel, for those just joining, his YouTube channel is TJs Real Talk. He doesn't have a separate URL. Go to YouTube, put TJs Real Talk in the search engine, and you find out his likes, his dislikes, his opinions. Very, very informative. But you said that you were dumb. And this is after I had talked to you, and I just disagree. In talking to you now, I don't. Whether you've read a book or not, I don't feel that. I don't feel that at all.
You said you was dumb.
Yeah, he said that he was dumb. He's talking about himself, and I don't see that at all. You're extremely well spoken. And even I bet. I mean, what did you mean when you said that?
So, I don't think I've mentioned it on my channel, but first of all, I dropped out in 9th grade. I'm not a book person. I'm street smart. And I think that society classified me as dumb. So my classification on whether I'm dumb is based off of the book. I'm not finna mess with your books. But I tell you, I know how to make a coin. I know how to survive. So that's why I say I'm smart, just in a whole nother way. You see what I'm saying? But in society's eyes, I'm dumb because I dropped out in the 9th grade. So me not having a degree or some type of paper to say that, I'm able to do certain things that makes me dumb to them, that's fine. That's okay. I accept that. But I know the truth.
What made you? What was the decision to drop out? What was going on?
Disabilities that I just wasn't able to keep up, and with my age starting to me growing up, I just didn't feel it to be a good thing. I got picked on a lot in school. I was a pussy. I was weak. I got picked on by all the gym niggas. I got picked on by the girls. I got picked on by everybody. I got thrown in trash cans and everything. So my demeanor now reflects that. And as I get older, I just don't got time for the bullshit. Yeah. And if I go, and I told my mom recently, if I go doing something, then that's fine. But it's going to be on my terms. If I'm going out fighting for me, then so be it. You know what I'm saying? If I go out from coronavirus because I left the city, so be it. But I will not allow myself to be taken off of this plane based off of someone else's will. I'm just not finna do that.
That's a word.
Well, that in itself is very intelligent. Are there any other questions?
That right there just said you wasn't dumb.
There's probably tons of them when we go back and put this in, when I load this and everything. So it's been about an hour and a half. This has been, and I don't use the word amazing very often. It's been an incredible time. It's been an amazing time. I'm so excited to have met you. This is a big, I consider this my, I interview people, celebrities that I like, that I think have something to say, and that we can help each other. Madonna's dancers from Blonde Ambition in 1990, they wanted to get paid. They didn't have time for me, and they weren't doing shit. This man he could have been out of town today. that you chose to do this for me, and I'm so grateful, Toxic.
Well, I'm glad you had me on, man. Real shit.
Toxic Johnson, remember YouTube, TJs Real Talk, promote your other many sites.
I am on YouTube a couple times actually. I have TJ's Real Talk. I have my personal page, where you would see me traveling, which is Official Toxic Johnson. I'm also on YouTube. Is Yes He Sings, where I do all my singing. Just I to separate everything because people don't want to see certain things.
Yeah.
I'm also on Twitter. I'm also on OnlyFans. You know, it's just all about, you know, getting yourself out there and letting the people know who you are. And if I can give a message to the world, it would be to stand in your truth, accept people for who they are, learn and live. That's it.
And he has Twitter, I would say, is really the place to go when you really want to get in touch with him. If you really want to see his content, he puts his thoughts there. He shows video clips and just tons and tons of awesome pictures. Most of the pictures, except for maybe one or two, have been from Twitter. This, I think, is from Twitter. And in my promo, I have the Daddy Dama Porn. That is Toxic Johnson, good friend of mine. I always end HILLJAYNE Unfiltered with "Go out and get you some," and